Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. I was supposed to speak back first.
Hold on just 1 second.
It's up here.
Mr. Kaler. Good morning. You haven't sent recommendations? Okay. Okay. All right. Sir at the jail, can I get your full name, please?
Oscar Maldonado Jr.
Mr. Maldonado, I'm seeing you this morning on 2 counts of disorderly conduct and 2 counts of assault. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Yes.
The information that I have from pretrial services is that you did not cooperate with them, so I don't have any information aside from what the allegations are to make my release decision.
I was by myself at park and then
I don't want to hear about the facts at all. Where are you living?
I knew I'm homeless. I was at the Salvation Army. I've only been here not even 3 weeks, you know, like I'm just trying to do better and I just went to the wrong park at the wrong time.
Well, you're not going to be able to go back to Salvation Army because that's where the incident happened. So where would you go if I released you?
Well, they do have, I mean, they have all my belongings. Would I be able to pick up all my clothes? I don't have no clothes.
Right. I'll put in my order that you can go back with a law enforcement escort.
Okay, yeah. Now, when I leave, well, then I'll go over to Primavera Foundation. I've been working with them. I signed up for their mailing stuff and whatnot. So, I mean, I'm homeless right now. I signed up to school. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to do better, really.
All right. So there's something called the Transition Center that is right outside of the jail. It's a trailer out there. So when you leave, I am going to release you. When you leave, I want you to go visit them and see what they have in terms of resources for housing. Okay. All right. So I'm going to order release on your promise to appear in court. I'm ordering that you have no contact of any kind with any alleged victims and you not return to the incident location. Like I said, I will put in my order that you can go back one time with a law enforcement escort. So you'll take my order to the nearest police station and they'll go with you to get your things. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And then your hearing is going to be in Tucson City Court on December 3rd at 9 o'clock in the morning. You need to get to that hearing or a warrant will issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're going to get you'll get paperwork with that information on it.
Can I ask one question? Who was the assault on? Because I didn't assault anybody.
Well, the allegations are that you assaulted let me just read to you the interim complaint so that you know what they're saying, okay? It doesn't give me any names, but maybe this will make sense to you. It says that they went to the Salvation Army. The caller, who was a staff member, said that you were refusing to leave and you were fighting staff. They say that you walked up to a victim and would not leave him alone. The victim said he was speaking in a deep, gruff voice and described it as being aggressive. The victim said as he walked away from Oscar and Oscar shoulder checked him into the stairs. The victim said Oscar then spat in his face intentionally. A second victim told Oscar he had to leave and could not go back to the rooms. Oscar pushed the second victim into the doors twice and punched him in the chest. That incident was witnessed by staff. I don't want you to say anything, sir. So you need to go to court in December and deal with this, okay? All right, you're excused, sir.
You're on the sheriff. Could you send it to, and your name, you're Matthew Mansour, is that correct?
Yeah, that's good.
I sent it to matthew.mansour@pima.gov. Is that not the correct email?
That should be. Let me double check. I don't see. Did you spell it? Oh, okay. I see it. I got 3 minutes ago. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Thank you so much.
Hi, sir. Can I get your full name, please?
Todd Allen Bowman.
Mr. Bowman, I am seeing you for a review hearing on your Maricopa County warrant. And looks like you're still pending some local matters, right?
Yeah, there's one other issue I have.
Okay. All right. So I'm just going to set do you know when your next hearing is on your local case?
But I've been incarcerated for over a month.
Okay. I'm going to set a hearing just shortly after the 12th so that we can track what's going on in your local case to see if Maricopa County wants to come and get you or not. So let's see.
Hey, this was just a shoplifting, wasn't it?
Yeah, it looks like it. But Maricopa County had a warrant on you, so we have to wait until you're done with your local matter to see, to just track, and then we'll see once you're done with your local matter, whether or not Maricopa County wants to come and bring you up there.
Well, they delayed this one until this court date, so they keep pushing on everything off. I mean,
No, you should be handling your city court case. They should be taking care of that. So hopefully that'll happen on the 12th. I'm gonna set,
what I'm saying is, we're here pushed that one back until she found out what happened with it.
that's not what should happen. So you need to tell your lawyer that they need to get this case resolved so that you can get to Maricopa County. Because Maricopa County won't come and get you until you're done with your local matters.
Your Honor, this is the third time I've been arrested and they won't come and get me. The last time it was a $5 bond set. And the judge here in town said, oh, I guess they're not too interested in you, so she released me. And I don't have any transportation to get up there.
Sir, that's how this works, is that you have to take care of your local matter before I can do anything on your Maricopa County case. Once you're done with that matter, if they don't come and get you, then we'll talk about release at that point. But you're being held anyways on your local case, on looks like a $250 bond. So, tell your attorney you need to resolve that case before Maricopa County will come and get you. So I'm going to set a review hearing then for, we'll set it for November 15th.
Huh?
No,
Still have a $500 bond?
you have, yep, $500 bond.
Can't we reduce that at least?
No, that's going to remain. And then I'll see you on the 15th at 9 o'clock in the morning, and you can tell me what's going on with your local case. Sir, I don't have the ability to do that. You have to take care of your local case before we can talk about your Maricopa County case. And it's not in my jurisdiction to do anything with that. So, all right, your excuse, sir. All right, so you have the recommendations now? Okay. What's that? So you don't have anything? Mr. Kaler,
Yes, sir.
we apparently only have recommendations that start with number 10. Do you have recommendations for the housed felonies?
My understanding is that all the house felonies are review hearings.
It's like Mr. Rosas has a new charge of promoting prison contraband.
My apologies, Your Honor. See that. Oh, look.
Okay. Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
Rudy Rosas.
Sir Rosas, I'm seeing you this morning on a charge of promoting prison contraband. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you have counsel seated next to you right now. It looks like you are already being held on a $10,000 bond on other charges, and then this is a new charge that's alleged to have been committed since you've been in the jail. On this matter, I'll hold you on a $500 cash bond so that you're getting time credit since you're being held on the other matter anyways. And you'll have a preliminary hearing on this charge on November 7th. You understand, sir?
Yes.
All right, you're excused.
You're in again.
No problem. $500 bond. He's being held already on other stuff. Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
Bernard John Servicio Jr.
Mr. Seraficio, I'm seeing you for a review hearing for your Maricopa County warrant. And it looks like you're still being held on local felony matters in Superior Court right now. So we're just going to set another review hearing in 30 days to see what's going on with your local stuff, okay?
Okay.
All right, so that will be November 25th at 9 o'clock in the morning.
All right.
All right, sir, you're excused.
Thank you.
All right, Miss Karen, go ahead and stand up. Oh, and snake around it. No, turn off the snake around, like snake around the weapons. Then you're good to go have a seat in your chair actually. Around the left right hand, yes. And you're good. Okay.
Hi, sir, can I get your full name?
Alex Omar Carbonel Pacheco.
Can you say that again?
Alex Omar Carbonel Pacheco.
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor, I brought the wrong individual. I'm sorry. Your Honor. Mr. Abrams is coming right now.
Thank you. Ma'am, do you want to come have a seat up here? We don't have a probable cause on Pacheco. No, you checked. Nothing. Hi, sir, can I get your full name, please? Mr. Abrams Murchison, I'm seeing you this morning on a charge of criminal damage, domestic violence. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. So I've looked at pretrial services information and I'm inclined to release you, sir, but the alleged victim is here and wishes to be heard. You're Miss Manning?
Yes.
Okay, it's Anissa Manning?
Anissa.
Oh, Anissa. Okay,
Yeah.
great. What would you like me to know, ma'am?
I just want to let you know that he would never hurt me and that I do need him home, dealing with the circumstances.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it.
Of course.
All right, sir. So I'm going to order that you be released on your promise to appear in court. I'm ordering no further acts of domestic violence. Your hearing in Pima County Justice Court is November 27th at 10:30 in the morning. You need to be at that hearing or a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, sir. You're excused.
Thanks.
Thanks again, ma'am.
Civil demands. Go down.
Hi, sir. Can I get your full name again?
Alex Carbonel Pacheco.
Okay, Mr. Carbonel Pacheco, I'm seeing you this morning on 2 counts of domestic violence, disorderly conduct. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Sir, I'm going to order that you be released on your promise to appear in court. The alleged victim, your wife Carmen, did not speak with pretrial services. They weren't able to get in contact with her, so I don't know what her position is as far as having contact with you goes. And so what I'll tell you is that if you were to go home and she doesn't want you there, you need to go somewhere else. Do you understand that? All right, so I'm ordering no further acts of domestic violence. You've got a hearing in Green Valley Justice Court in just a few days on Halloween, actually, October 31st at 8:30 in the morning. You need to be at that hearing or a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand? All right, sir, you're excused.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hi, sir, can I get your full name?
And,
Mr. Okano, I'm seeing you this morning on a couple of different matters. You have new charges of criminal damage and disorderly conduct. Those are domestic violence offenses. And then you also have a warrant for failure to appear out of justice court for a criminal trespass from September 8th of this year. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Well, what was done to me?
Well, I'm trying to decide
Yes.
about your release conditions. Are you're living on this Nebraska Street address?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is that with your parents?
That is myself there.
Not your parents?
Well, they come and go. They it's to myself, but
So, sir, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to order that you be held on $250 cash bonds on these cases. And you're going to have a hearing tomorrow in Justice Court, October 29th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, where you can talk to the judge more about what's
I'm not being released.
no. And,
They're all misdemeanors, man.
yep. And you didn't show up to court, so, I'm going to hold you. Let's see. I'm going to appoint an attorney for you. That will be Adam Waters. All right. And so you'll be seen tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Your excuse, sir. Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
Rinaldo Ochoa, or Rinaldo Cristobal Ochoa, Jr.
Wait, Mr. Ochoa, I'm seeing you because you've got a couple of warrants out of justice court. They're old. They're both shoplifting charges from 2021. And there's also a drug paraphernalia charge as well. And then it looks like you didn't show up in court, so these warrants issued. What's been going on with you that you haven't gotten to court?
So I kind of just forgot about going and just been drugs.
Yeah, where are you living right now?
Me right now, I'm staying at a friend's house.
Okay.
So
So if I release you, are you gonna get to court?
yeah.
And this looks to me like you haven't been in any trouble since these happened 3 years ago, so that's a good sign. But you need to get to court to take care of them so you don't end up with more warrants, okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna order that you be released on your promise to appear in court. That hearing is going to be on November 27th at 8:30 in the morning.
Okay.
All right, and sir, if you need any help with housing or getting a phone or anything like that, there's the Pima County Transition Center. It's a trailer that's right outside of the jail. You can visit them when you get released right now and see if there's anything they can help you with, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. You're excused.
Next. Go out there, have a seat with the guys.
Hi, sir, can I get your full name?
Sandal.
All right, Mr. Sandoval, I am seeing you on a few different things. Give me just a second here. Do you have, looks like Sandoval has a couple of JP warrants and that aren't in the file. Okay. All right, so sir, it looks like you've got a couple of warrants out of Pima County Justice Court. And then one out of Tucson City Court.
4.
and failures to appear in both of those courts.
I understand the last, I lost the paperwork as soon as I got on the bus when I left here. And that's the reason why I asked for it. I didn't know the date. I lost the paperwork. That was my fault.
I have the Tucson one, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Where are you living right now, sir?
That's Beretta ready. Tucson, Arizona, 85746.
So are you gonna get to court if I order that you be released?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna give you 2 different court dates, one for justice court and one for city court, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And just so you know, these city court warrants are for criminal trespass and failing to provide an animal with medical care. They're both from last year. All right, I'm gonna order that you be released on your promise to appear in Pima County Justice Court on November 27th at 8:30 in the morning. Okay, so just about a month away. And then the city court warrant is for threats and intimidation from, way back in 2020. All right, so I'm going to order that you be released on that charge. And your hearing in city court will be December 10th at 9:30 in the morning. So a little over a month away, okay? Great, sir, you're excused. Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
Thompson.
Right, Mr. Thompson, I'm seeing you on a few different matters. You've got new charges of drug paraphernalia, resisting arrest, and criminal trespass. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. And you have the right to an attorney. I will appoint on the city court matters, the city public defender to represent you. You're ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you don't appear at those hearings, they can go forward in your absence. Warrants can issue for your arrest. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. So, sir, on your city court cases, it looks like in addition to these new charges, you've got 4 outstanding warrants.
What is that for?
So your chart, I don't have all of those files on me right now, but it looks like they all involve criminal trespass, drug paraphernalia, and shoplifting. And there's, like I said, there's 4 different cases. Now you've got 5 in city court that you need to take care of. So I am going to order that you be held on a $500 cash or secured bond, that you not return to any of the incident locations, and that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. And like I said, city public defender is appointed to represent you there. Your hearing, yeah, I'm holding you on a bond. So unless you pay that bond, you're going to stay in custody. And your next court date in city court, if you don't pay that bond, is November 5th at 1:45 in the afternoon. If you do post the bond, you need to be in Tucson City Court on December 3rd at 9 o'clock in the morning. And
Today's date?
Today's date is October 28th. So your video review hearing will be in a week in city court. And then,
For a week.
yep, unless you post the bond. And then on your justice court warrant, I'm going to order a $200 cash or secured bond. I will appoint Caitlin Waters to represent you there. And you're going to be seen tomorrow in Justice Court. That's October 29th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. All right, sir?
Well, I was gonna ask you, so this is my first time ever like being like in like arrested in jail or whatever they call it, you know. Fucking, I was gonna say, well, I guess it's just because it's just so much, huh? Like that's the reason why you want to hold me, and it's not.
Because you have so much going on and you don't go to court.
Yeah, well, what I was gonna say is I'm from Louisiana, and the reason why I had my failure trip here was because I just didn't know where the court office was, like downtown and stuff. Like I didn't know all that yet,
Right.
and I had lost the papers and stuff, and you know,
I hear you, but with all of this going on, I'm going to hold you on the bond because I don't think that you're going to make it to court. You can talk to the judge about it tomorrow for your justice court case and then in a week for your city court cases. All right, sir, you're excused.
Okay, absolutely. Thomas?
Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
Yes, it's Emmanuel Chavez.
Mr. Chavez, I'm seeing you this morning on a charge of criminal trespass in the 3rd degree. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. Pretrial services says that you were uncooperative with them, so I don't have any information to help me make my decision about whether or not you should be released. Where are you living right now?
I'm trying to get into the gospel residence somewhere.
Sir, I'm going to order that you be released on your promise to appear in court. What I want you to do when you leave here is go to the transition center, which is a trailer that's right outside of the jail, and they can help you get hooked up with housing, okay? Okay, and then I'm also ordering that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, and then you need to be in Tucson City Court on November 26th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, sir, you're excused.
Thank you.
Go out there, have a seat with the guys.
Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
Renee Contras.
Mr. Contreras, I am seeing you this morning on a couple of different matters. You've got new charges of, looks like 3 counts of disorderly conduct, a charge of assault, criminal damage. Those are domestic violence offenses. So, sir, pretrial services was not able to get in contact with your mother. So I don't know what her position is in terms of whether or not you can go back to her residence. If you can't, do you have somewhere else you can go? Okay. So I'm going to order, sir, that you be released on your promise to appear in court. I'm ordering that you commit no further acts of domestic violence and that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. And so Sir, if you do go back to the residence with your mom and she does not want you there, you have to immediately leave and find somewhere else to go. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And then you're going to have a hearing in Tucson City Court with Judge Maldonado on November 25th at 2:00 in the afternoon. You need to get to that hearing or a warrant can issue for your arrest, okay?
Ma'am.
Right, your excuse, sir. Hi, sir. Can I get your full name? Mr. Fox, I'm seeing you this morning on a few different matters. It looks like you've got a new charge of drug paraphernalia. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney, although not necessarily at court expense, and you are ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you fail to appear at those hearings, they can go forward in your absence. A warrant can issue for your arrest. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. I will enter a plea of not guilty for you at this time on this new charge. And then it looks like you've got a few warrants out of city court. There's a criminal trespass charge from last year. Criminal trespass, drug paraphernalia from January of this year. And shopping cart, removing a shopping cart and drug paraphernalia from January of this year. And then it looks like you failed to appear in court on those charges. So warrants issued for your arrest. Sir, where are you living right now?
I was not living anywhere, but I've been staying with my mom and my sister
Okay.
just recently.
Is that the Haskell address?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I release you, are you going to get to court?
Yeah. I can now. It was hard keeping track of the dates when I was homeless. And that's why I built up here. But yeah. I can be there.
All right. So I will order that you be released on your promise to appear in court. That court date will be December 3rd at 9:00 in the morning in Tucson City Court. I'm also ordering that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs and that you do not return to the incident location where you were arrested, okay?
Okay.
All right, sir, you're excused.
Thank you.
Hi, ma'am, can I get your full name?
Henry Marino Hall.
Ms. Hall, I'm seeing you this morning because you have some warrants out of Tucson City Court. You've got a criminal trespass charge from 2022 and shoplifting drug paraphernalia from 2023. I see that you're being held on felony charges already. And so I'm just going to order that you be held on these matters on a $250 cash bond. If you were to post your bonds, I'm ordering that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, that you don't return to the incident locations, and that you, the city public defender is appointed to represent you. You will be seen, if you're still in custody, by video on November 5th at 1:45 in the afternoon. If you were to post your bonds, you would need to be in Tucson City Court on November 26th at 9:30 in the morning, okay?
So how much is it? Again, how much is the bond?
Well, you're being held on a felony hold. Let me see. I think it might be without bond on that one. Let me see.
I know I have a,
Yeah, you're being held no bond on your Superior Court matter. So because of failure to appear, you'll be seen separately in Superior Court on that case. This is just for your city court cases, where you had warrants for failures to appear. On those, I'm holding on a $250 bond.
so it's just $250 total?
Yeah, but you're not getting out because you're being held no bond on your felony.
Okay, when will I get to court on that?
I don't know. I would guess in the next week.
Okay,
All
thank
right,
you.
you're welcome.
Go out there, have a seat to feelings.
Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
Justin Nicholas Hara.
Mr. Hara, I'm seeing you this morning on some new charges of disorderly conduct, 3 counts, and criminal trespass. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney, although not necessarily at court expense. And you are ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you fail to appear at your hearings, warrants can issue for your arrest. They can go forward in your absence. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. Sir, you've also got a couple of other cases going on in city court as well.
Well, it wasn't really trespass. I just knocked on the door.
I don't want to hear anything about the allegations. Sir, on all of your city court matters, I'm going to order that you be held on a $250 cash bond. If you were to post that bond, I'm ordering that you have no contact of any kind with any alleged victims and that you do not return to the incident locations. I will appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. We're going to vacate. You had a hearing on November 7th at 9:30 that had been previously scheduled on your other cases. We're going to vacate that. And instead you'll have a video review hearing on November 7th at 1:45. If you're still in custody, if you do post that bond, you would need to be in city court on that date and time. Do you understand, sir? Do you understand, sir?
Sure.
Okay, you're excused.
So am I gonna release today or not?
If you post a $250 bond,
So I have to be in jail right now.
yes,
Like, do not, for what?
for the charges I just told you about. You're going to talk to the
So-
judge. You're going to talk to the judge.
How long do I have to be in jail for?
Your hearing is on November 7th, so you'll be there at least until then. You're excused.
Fucking kidding me? In this world, they're all going to hell. They're all going to hell. They're all innocent. They're all sticking up to shit. Oh,
Mhm. Hi, ma'am. Can I get your full name?
Carmen Luis Martinez.
Ms. Ruiz Martinez, I am seeing you this morning on charges of criminal damage and 2 counts of disorderly conduct. Those are domestic violence offenses. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney, although not necessarily at court expense. And you're ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you miss those hearings, warrants can issue for your arrest. They can go forward in your absence. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. I will enter pleas of not guilty for you at this time on these charges. Ma'am, pretrial services did speak with the alleged victims, your mother and your brother. They do not object to your release from custody. They want to have contact with you, and they said that you are welcome to return home. So I'm going to order that you be released on your promise to appear in court. I'm ordering that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs, that you commit no further acts of domestic violence, and your hearing in Tucson City Court will be December 3rd at 2:00 in the afternoon. You need to be at that hearing or warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you're excused.
Not yet. Go out there, have a seat to feelings.
They've got some people done. Food getting cycled.
Mr. Slagle, seeing you this morning on a new charge of possession of drug paraphernalia, and then you've got a warrant out of Tucson City Court for assault, disorderly conduct. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney, although not necessarily at court expense.
I don't have no assault charges.
I'm looking at a ticket right here that has your name on it. But it's from December 2nd of 2023. And you were released on that charge. What's your date of birth?
9/5/83.
Yeah, that's what this says.
I have no assault charges. I've never, nah.
All right, well, you'll be able to talk to the judge about it when you get to court because the information that I have is that you have an assault and disorderly conduct charge from last year. And that you didn't appear in court and so warrant issued. Where are you living right now, sir?
My mom?
Is that the Summer Sky Drive address?
Yeah.
Right. I don't think I finished advising you of your rights. If you fail to appear at any hearing, they can go forward in your absence. Warrant can issue for your arrest. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. I'm also going to enter a not guilty plea for you today. I'm going to order, sir, that you be released on your promise to appear in court. I'm ordering that you possess or consume no alcohol or illegal drugs. And you need to be in Tucson City Court on December 9th at 2:30 in the afternoon, or warrant can issue for your arrest. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
So that'll deal with both of these cases. So then you'll get to talk to the judge more about those other charges and see what that's about. Okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Great. You're excused.
Thank you.
It's Susie. You're next. This is Susie.
Hi, ma'am. Can I get your full name, please?
Elizabeth C.C. Dunbar.
Miss Susie Dunbar, I am seeing you this morning on charges of domestic violence, assault, and disorderly conduct. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney, although not necessarily at court expense, and you're ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you miss any hearings, they can go forward in your absence. Warrants can issue for your arrest, and if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. I will enter pleas of not guilty for you today on these charges. And I understand that we have a victim on the line. Can you please unmute yourself and let me know what your name is? Are they gone? Okay. I don't know who that last person is. Do you? Is that ours? Oh, yeah, you're right. It is. All right. I guess we had a victim on the line, but I already got his position from when he spoke with pretrial services. He says, ma'am, that he does not want to have contact with you and that you're not able to go to his residence at this time. Were you living with him?
Well, yeah, I was renting a room.
Okay. But you have somewhere else to go?
I do.
Okay.
My vehicle is there.
Okay. So what
how do I proceed with that?
Yep, I'll let you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to order that you be released on your promise to appear in court. I'm ordering that you commit no further acts of domestic violence, that you have no contact of any kind with the alleged victim, Ricardo Gutierrez. You do not go to his residence or workplace or contact him on the phone or any other way. I will put in my order that you can return one time to the residence with a law enforcement escort. So that means you would take my court order to the nearest police station and they will go with you to get your things, okay?
Okay.
And then your next court date will be in Tucson City Court on December 3rd at 1:30 in the afternoon. You need to get to that hearing or warrant can issue, okay? Great, you're excused, ma'am.
Go back out. Go back out. All right, good night.
All right, hi, sir. Can I get your full name? Mr. Venny, I'm seeing you this morning. You've got some new charges of criminal trespass and obstruction for refusing to give your truthful name. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I am going to appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. You're ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you miss any of your hearings, they can go forward in your absence. Warrants can issue for your arrest. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. Sir, it looks like you've also got a number of warrants on other cases out of Tucson City Court for which you failed to appear in court. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to order that you be held on a $250 cash bond, ordering if you were to post that bond that you do not go back to the incident location or any of the incident locations from these cases. And you will be seen by video on November 5th at 1:45 in the afternoon. If you were to post the bond, you would need to be in Tucson City Court on December 9th at 9:30 in the morning. Do you understand, sir?
Sure.
All right, you're excused.
Go back up, have you seen the bills? Your Honor. Hello, Your Honor. It appears that Mr. Slagle has a superior court hold, probation violation.
Oh, okay.
If you want to see him again, we can bring him back in here.
No, I don't need to.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi, sir, can I get your full name?
Señor, ¿puede dar su nombre completo?
Sí, Raúl Antonio Aranda Castro.
Raúl Antonio Aranda Castro.
All right, sir, I am seeing you this morning on charges of domestic violence, disorderly conduct, and assault.
Y lo veo hoy, en esta mañana, por violencia doméstica, por alteración al orden público y por agresión.
You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Tiene derecho a permanecer en silencio. Cualquier cosa que diga puede y será usada en su contra.
Can the jail tell me if there's an ICE hold?
Le estoy preguntando entonces si hay una retención por áreas de migración. Sí, hay.
You said yes, there is.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Sí, sí lo hay.
All right, sir. So since immigration, there's a hold by immigration, I'm going to order that you be held on this case on a $250 cash bond.
Señor, como existe una retención por inmigración, voy a ordenar que sea retenido para este caso con una fianza en efectivo de $250.
So if you were to post that bond, it's likely that immigration would come and pick you up, and then that $250 bond would probably be forfeited.
Bueno, y si usted llega a pagar esa fianza, es muy probable que inmigración lo vaya a recoger y es muy probable que esos $250 sean confiscados.
I'm ordering that you have no contact of any kind with the alleged victim, Victor.
Y le ordeno que no tenga contacto de ninguna forma con la presunta víctima, Víctor.
And if you are still in custody, you will be seen tomorrow at 1:00 in the afternoon in Justice Court.
Y si sigue bajo custodia, lo van a ver mañana a las 1:30 de la tarde en el Tribunal de Justicia, Justice Court.
You understand all of that, sir?
¿Comprende todo eso, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, you are excused.
Y ya se puede retirar.
A clarification. Yeah.
May the interpreter be excused?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Interpreter will now disconnect.
Thank you. Yeah.
Snake around the edges and the
Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
Second,
Mr. Betet, I am seeing you this morning on a warrant that you've got out of, it looks like Cochise County for dangerous drug charges.
hey, it's just a talking no, ma'am.
No, not yet. And then, so it looks like you've got a couple of cases. Maybe. It's like they're all the same date from April 17th of this year. Anyhow, you are being held on a local matter at this time. Without bond. So what I'm going to do is order a $500 cash bond on your Cochise County matter, and we will have a review hearing in about 30 days to see what's happening with your local matter. So that'll be November 25th at 9 o'clock in the morning. Do you understand, sir? What don't you understand?
See my judge in Pima County to finish that case and get sentenced.
You will, just not today.
Okay.
I don't know when that court date is, but I would expect it'll be sometime in the next week.
Okay.
All right?
Thanks, ma'am.
You're excused.
Once a year.
Hi, ma'am. Can I get your full name?
Amy Cantini.
Cantini, I'm seeing you this morning on new charges of possession of a narcotic drug for sale and possession of dangerous drug for sale. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Ma'am, the state is asking that I hold you without bond at this time because you were on release for other felony charges when you pick these up. So that is going to be my order. You'll be held without bond at this time. We'll have what's called a no bond hearing in Superior Court on November 1st at 2:30 in the afternoon. We'll talk further about your bond situation. You should be hearing from your attorney soon. And we'll set a preliminary hearing date of November 7th at 1:30. You understand all of that, ma'am?
Yes.
All right, you're excused.
Yes.
She also has an APO hold, Your Honor.
Okay, you're also being held by probation. Actually, I don't think it's APO, is it? I think it's yeah, no, it's just a felony hold.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, can I get your full name?
Victor Quinn.
Mr. Quinn, I'm seeing you this morning on a new charge of aggravated domestic violence. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated next to you right now. Does Mr. Quinn have a probation hold?
What? It does not show,
Okay.
Your Honor.
All right, I do see, sir, that you are on probation currently, so I would expect that at some point they'll put a hold on you. And I'll also note that that charge involves the same alleged victim in this charge and a very extensive history of domestic violence. The state's asking that I hold you on a $5,000 bond. Did defense want to be heard on that?
Yes, Your Honor. So Mr. Quinn, from the interim complaint, was just in his room, locked in the room by himself, and hitting the wall or the door. But so he lives with his father and his sister, but he's able to go stay with his grandmother if he is released. He does work for a roofing company, needs to return to work, and he has a car and would be able to make it different days. So we would ask for release to pretrial services.
I'm going to order a $2,500 cash or secured bond released to pretrial if that bond is posted. No further acts of domestic violence, no alcohol or illegal drugs. And pretrial services, just so you know, sir, did not speak with, was not able to get in contact with your parents. And so I don't know what their position is as far as contact goes, but if you were to reach out to them and they don't want to have contact with you at this time, it needs to end. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
All right, and then preliminary hearing date is scheduled for November 7th. But sir, if you post that bond, you need to make sure that you're in touch with pretrial and with your attorney because that hearing date will likely change. You need to make sure you're in touch with them so that you know when to get to court so that a warrant doesn't issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Great, you're excused. Hi, sir. Can I get your full name? Mr. Leon, I'm seeing you this morning on a few different matters. You were charged with new felony drug charges, but the state has moved to dismiss those. So I will order that those be dismissed without prejudice. But you've got some other matters going on as well. So we'll talk about those next. You've got a warrant out of Oro Valley for charges of shoplifting and drug paraphernalia and false reporting to law enforcement. Those are from November 25th of the last year. And then, oh, wow. Okay. Judge Hazel let me know that this is a failure to appear after signing a promise to appear at your release and that this is the 10th failure to appear on this charge. So, and so he asked that I hold you on a $1,400 bond. So that's what I'm going to do. $1,400 cash or secured bond and order that you not return to that incident location, no alcohol or illegal drugs, and we'll appoint an attorney for you in Oro Valley. That'll be Richard Glenn. And preliminary hearing, or no, you'll have a hearing, a video review hearing just in a couple of days on October 30th at 10:30 in the morning in Oro Valley. If you were to post that bond, you would need to get to Oro Valley on that date and time. And then you also have a new charge of shoplifting. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. On that charge, sir, I'm going to order that you be released on your promise to appear in justice court, but I will let them know that you're being held on another matter in case you don't post that bond. You'll be seen tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon in justice court. And I'm ordering that you not return to that Circle K. All right, sir?
Okay.
All right, you're excused. Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
Joseph Darrell Martians.
Mr. Marston, I am seeing you this morning on charges of 2 counts of possession of narcotic drug, possession of a dangerous drug, and possession of drug paraphernalia. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you. The state is asking that I hold you without bond at this time because you were on release for other felony charges when you got arrested on these. So that is going to be my order at this time, that you be held without bond, and we'll have a no bond hearing in Superior Court on November 1st at 2:30 in the afternoon. And we'll set a preliminary hearing date for November 7th at 1:30. Do you understand, sir?
Yeah, Sid.
All right, you should be hearing from your attorney soon to talk about that hearing that's going to happen in a few days in Superior. Hi, sir, can I get your full name? Mr. Molina, I'm seeing you this morning on a number of different matters. Let's deal with your felony warrant first. That is for narcotic drug and drug paraphernalia charges from May 8th of this year. And you've already been arrested and released and promised to appear in court, and that hasn't happened. So I'm going to order that you be held on a $1,000 cash or secured bond on these charges. I will appoint the legal defender's office to represent you, and we'll have an arraignment on November 4th at 1:30 in the afternoon in Superior Court. If you were to post that bond, I'm ordering that you be released to pretrial monitoring or treatment as directed by them, and no alcohol or illegal drugs. And then
Your Honor,
sure.
Your Honor, can I be heard on bond?
Yep.
So Mr. Molina, both times, I know he was released twice and failed to appear twice. But both times he was homeless, and now his stepfather, who got in contact with pretrial services, said Mr. Molina can stay with him. And Mr. Molina also didn't have a phone at the time when he was homeless. So now if he were to be released, he could go stay with his stepfather and would be able to make it to court dates. Correct.
I might be willing to do that, except he's also got warrants out of city and justice court. So I think he needs to have more motivation to get to court on all of these. So I'm going to keep that $1,000 bond in place on that one. Then we've got a justice court warrant for a shoplifting drug paraphernalia from January of this year, and then at least one failure to appear there. I'm going to order a $100 cash bond on that, and I will appoint Janet Altschuler to represent you in justice court. That hearing will be tomorrow.
Willing to do anything today to show that I'm really motivated to change.
So justice court's tomorrow, October 29th at 1:00 in the afternoon. Don't return to that incident location. No alcohol or illegal drugs. And then city court, there's a new charge of drug paraphernalia. On that, I will enter a plea of not guilty. And you do have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the city public defender's office to represent you there. You are ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you fail to appear at your hearings, they can go forward in your absence. Warrants can issue for your arrest. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. On those city court matters, I'm going to order a $100 cash bond and no alcohol or illegal drugs. And video review will be on November 5th at 1:45 in the afternoon. You understand all of that, sir?
Yes.
You're excused. Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
Juan Carlos Jr.
Mr. Olvera, I'm seeing you this morning because you've got a warrant out of Maricopa County for ag DUI charges from 2022. And then you've also got an old warrant out of Tucson City Court for a 2019 case. Let's see. Looks like you were previously released in Pima County on this DUI charge. And then you didn't appear in court for that. So Maricopa County is asking that I hold you on a $1,250 bond. So that's what I'm going to do. That'll be cash or secured. And if you're still in custody, you'll have a review hearing on November 25th at 9 o'clock in the morning. So this local case, city court case, it looks like you've been arrested and released on it many, many times. On this case, I'll order a $250 cash bond. I will appoint the city public defender to represent you, and you'll have a video review hearing on November 5th at 1:45 in the afternoon. You understand, sir?
Yes.
All right, you're excused. There was no conditions of release, just this. Is that all I need to fill out? Was it just one file? That's it, okay. Hi, sir, can I get your full name, please?
Yes, Gabriel. Para.
Mr. Parada, I'm seeing you this morning on charges of disorderly conduct for recklessly handling a deadly weapon. It's a domestic violence offense. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. The state is asking for a $25,000 bond. Given the nature of the allegations, it does look like there's no prior history and fairly low scores on the scales. And I know that the PD asked that it be continued to today's hearing so that housing apart from the victim could be verified. Do you have that information, Mr. Mansour?
Yes, Your Honor. So he got in touch with pretrial services and could go stay with his mother.
Yes.
So she got in touch with pretrial.
Okay, I see that. All right. Mr. Kaler, did you want to be heard any further?
Your Honor, I think just given the nature of the offense, it's a firearm is used in this case. Thank you.
Sir, because of your lack of prior history, I'm going to order that you be released to pretrial services. I am ordering that you do not possess any firearms or weapons at this time. So if you have any, they need to go somewhere else. You can't have them. Do you understand?
Understood.
I'm also ordering no further acts of domestic violence, monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial, and no contact of any kind at this time with the alleged victim. Celine,
Yeah, I do have a question.
about
Uh,
your things.
Yes,
Yeah.
like we have three babies together.
Okay.
Would they be allowed for me to see them?
Yeah, so, okay, so a couple of other orders then. I'm gonna order that you not return to her residence or workplace. And I am gonna put in my order that you can return one time with a law enforcement escort to collect your personal belongings. So you would take my court order to the nearest police station and ask them to go with you to get your things, okay?
And then that's
then
gonna
as-
be whenever.
What's that?
When will that be? As
Yeah.
soon as I'm released?
Yep.
Cool.
And then
Understood.
I'm gonna put in my order that you can communicate telephonically regarding your children.
Perfect.
And I'm going to put that exchanges must be through a third party.
Like exchange with the kids?
Yeah. So if you're gonna see them, I don't want you having in-person contact with Celine. You would need to find somebody that can either drop them off to you or meet you with them or something, okay?
Yeah, that's perfect.
All right, and then your preliminary hearing date is scheduled for November 18th. But sir, that hearing is very likely not going to happen on that date. You'll get a hearing at a later date. So it's going to be really important that you're in contact with pretrial services and with your attorney so that you know when to get to court, because if you miss court, a warrant can issue for your arrest. Do you understand?
Understood.
All right, sir, you're excused. Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
Juan Manuel Romero.
Mr. Romero, I'm seeing you this morning on a few different matters. You do have a new charge of criminal trespass. And then it looks like you've got at least 3 warrants out of Tucson City Court. On the new charge, I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'll appoint the city public defender's office to represent you. And you're ordered to appear at all of your hearings. If you miss your hearings, they can go forward in your absence. Warrants can issue for your arrest. And if you're convicted at a trial and you can't be sentenced within 90 days of the conviction, you could lose your right to a direct appeal. So I am going to order a bond on the city court matters because of all of the failures to appear there. And I'm likely to order a bond on the felony as well. It's a 2016 drug and drug paraphernalia charges. And it looks like you've been arrested at least once again in 2021, released to pretrial services and then failed to appear again. So the state's asking for a $1,500 bond. Did defense want to be heard on that?
One minute. Your Honor, I'm not sure if he was released to pretrial services in the 2016 case, but from my conversation with Mr. Romero, he wasn't aware that he should be in contact with pretrial services, but if he were released to pretrial services, he could contact them to know which court dates were. But he wasn't aware of what the court dates were.
All right.
So we would ask for release to pretrial.
Thank you. I'm going to order on the felony charges a $1,000 cash or secured bond released to pretrial. If that bond is posted, monitoring or treatment as directed by pretrial, no alcohol or illegal drugs. We've got an arraignment scheduled for November 4th at 1:30 in Superior Court. And then on the city court matters, it's like these involve, in addition to this new criminal trespass charge, shoplifting, reckless burning, drug paraphernalia, criminal trespass. I am going to order a $500 cash or secured bond. And video review will be on November 5th at 1:45 in the afternoon. All right, sir, you understand all of that?
Yeah.
All right, you're excused.
It's on there though? Okay. Your Honor,
Yes.
he got charged with promoting prison contraband as well. Added charges.
The last gentleman I just saw?
Yes.
Okay,
Go ahead. Have a seat.
yeah. Well, so do I need to do another? They just added it onto that interim? We need another one? Right. Okay. Can the jail tell me if you have an interim? Because we haven't gotten anything.
Yes, Your Honor, we have an interim.
All right, can you email it?
Yes, Your Honor.
You have it? Okay, never mind, we've got it. So it can take you a bit. No, just I can see somebody else in the meantime. Yeah, let's do that. All right, it's gonna take a bit because we have to get a new conditions of release generated for that new charge. So can we see the next couple of people?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Next.
Hey, sir, can I get your full name?
Alexander Santillo.
Mr. Santillo, I'm seeing you this morning on a number of different matters. You do have a new charge of organized retail theft and trespass. And then you've got warrants out of both Justice Court and City Court. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney on this felony charge. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you've got counsel seated next to you for today's hearing. The state is asking for a $1,000 bond, given this history of failing to appear. Did defense want to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor. So Mr. Santillo currently works as a cook at a Burger King, lives with his mom in an apartment, and he has no prior felonies. So he would be able to make the court dates with, the help of living with his mom. And I would also just like to point out the amount that is alleged to have been stolen is less than $200. So we would ask for release to pretrial services or a significantly lower bond of $250.
All right, on the felony, I'm going to order a $500 cash or secured bond released to pretrial if that bond is posted, monitoring or treatment as directed by them, and no alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm ordering do not return to the Walmart from this incident. And preliminary hearing date will be November 7th. All right, and then we've got 2 justice court warrants. These are for shoplifting, criminal trespass, and those are from July 19th of this year. And then at least 1 failure to appear in justice court. And then you've also got a 2021 reckless driving warrant as well. On those matters, I'll order $250 cash or secured bonds. We'll appoint Adam Waters and video review will be tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. If you were to post these bonds, sir, you would need to get to court on those dates and times, and you're going to get paperwork with all of that information. All right, and then city court warrants are for charges involving domestic violence, criminal damage, disorderly conduct, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, drug paraphernalia. On those charges, I'm going to order another $250 cash or secured bond. We'll appoint the city public defender to represent you there, and you'll be seen by video on November 5th at 1:45 in the afternoon. You understand all of that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you're excused. Okay. And I'm ready for Romero. All right, Mr. Romero, so it looks like you've also been charged with a new count of a felony charge of promoting prison contraband. On that charge, I'm going to order a $250 cash or secured bond. Public defender will still be appointed to represent you on that. And preliminary hearing date is scheduled for November 7th. All right, sir?
Your Honor.
Yes? Cocaine in his person.
I understand the court's ruling and what happened.
Ah, okay. All right, very good. And yeah, he's got the $1,000 bond on the other one too. So, all right. All right, that's all, sir.
Still.
Hi, ma'am. Can I get your full name?
Stephanie Wells.
Miss Wells. Is it? All right. Do you also have a name Sarnes?
Yeah, Sarnes Wells.
Okay. All right. I'm seeing you this morning on charges of dangerous drug and drug paraphernalia. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I'm going to appoint the legal defender's office to represent you. So, ma'am, it appears that you might be eligible for a drug diversion program, where if you get to court and you participate in some drug treatment, you could possibly have these charges dismissed. Are you interested in learning more about that?
Yes.
All right, so I'm going to order that you be released to the third-party supervision of pretrial services. So you're going to need to check in with them when you get released. I'm ordering monitoring or treatment as directed by them and no alcohol or illegal drugs. Your smart court hearing, where you'll go and find out whether or not you're eligible for that program, is in a week. It's on November 4th at 9 o'clock in the morning. You need to get to that hearing, okay?
Okay.
And then we'll set, council will waive time for the PH.
Yes, Your Honor.
So that'll be December 20th. All right, ma'am. So make sure that you get in contact with pretrial and with your attorney at the legal defender's office, and then be in court next week on the 4th at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's a week from today, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Hi, sir. Can I get your full name?
Antonio Torres Tiznado.
Mr. Tisnato, I'm seeing you this morning for misconduct involving weapons for being a prohibited possessor. You do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. I will appoint the public defender's office to represent you, and you have counsel seated next to you right now. It appears there is a federal detainer. So the state is asking for a $5,000 bond on this charge. A $7,500 bond. Did the state want to be heard? I'm sorry, did defense want to be heard?
Yes, Your Honor. So Mr. Tismato, his original prior case was from 2005, where he lost his right to have a firearm. And his current case, where he was picked up on a warrant, was possession of ammunition. He missed one urinalysis test, and that's what ended up with him having a warrant. But again, his original case is from almost 20 years ago, Your Honor. So we would ask for a significantly lower bond, considering it's possession of a weapon, but stemming from a very old case. He works full time as a landscaper and lives at his own house with a wife and kids. So we would ask for a $1,000 bond, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to order a $5,000 bond. It'll be cash or secured and released to pretrial. If posted, monitoring or treatment is directed. No firearms or weapons. Preliminary hearing date is scheduled for November 7th. All right, sir, you're excused. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Your Honor.